Hi, and this is Travis Lau with Weather Briefing number 2. So first we'll be looking at the surface analysis chart, and as you can see there's just a lot of warm and cold fronts, regular day, pretty clear day, some stationary fronts on the east coast area, and as you can see in Canada is where more of the occluded fronts are. There's one on the west and east coast of Canada and one around in the middle. One thing to note about this surface analysis is that Hurricane Eugene is southwest of the United States and might be coming up to the US as well. So we're going to have to watch out for that. The upper air high level chart, this is 300 millibars, relatively calm throughout the whole US, with in North Dakota it's about 60 knots coming from the west, and generally the wind direction is from the west. There's this red shaded area near Maine, which means that the wind speed is over 70 knots. So there might be a lot of turbulence in that area as well. The upper air mid-level, so the 500 millibar analysis, still generally winds are coming from the west, and where the dew point depression is less than 5 is the green area, so that's where you'll have more chance of clouds. It's still relatively calm. And the lower area is the 850 millibar analysis, flight level of 5,000 feet MSL. And throughout the US, the winds don't look like. A lot of the winds are just not greater than 20 knots, not greater than 30 knots either. Mostly coming more from the southwest now. And again, with this dew point depression, there's lots of chance for clouds in this green shaded area. We're looking at the infrared chart. And you can also see, as I talked about earlier, the Hurricane Eugene in the bottom left corner of the US that may be coming. And overall, this radar or satellite imagery, the infrared imagery tells us that around the middle of the US is where a lot of the clouds are. Let's say from Montana to New Mexico area and still down towards Mexico, and then you can see Illinois, which is a lot of the red area, or a big red patch is above Illinois, which will mean heavy rain or heavy clouds with lots of moisture. And as you can tell, the same thing goes with the water vapor and the water vapor chart, and you can see that above the Illinois it's really, really moist. So, and above the middle of the US as well, Montana to New Mexico is still moist as well. Now looking at some of the graphical depictions of METARs in locally, which I am still in Hawaii, so I would look at the local METARs across the Hawaiian Islands, and it's relatively clear. PHNL being the Honolulu International Airport, just the winds are a little bit high winds are at about 15 knots and gusting to about 20 knots. And same with Molokai, I guess. Molokai, winds are at 10 knots, gusting to 20 knots as well. But relatively, Hawaiian Islands are pretty clear. Now on the Big Island, which is the picture on the right, the only area that is about broken is Hilo, and that's on the right of the Big Island. But the winds, I'd say mainly because, well, not mainly because it's just because there's clouds. That's about it for this graphical application. And here is the PHNL METAR on the 11th day at 0249 Zulu. Well, I guess not METAR, but TAF valid from 11th day at 300 Zulu, or 300 Zulu to 12th at 600 Zulu. Winds from 070 at 13, gusting to 21, as we saw earlier, about 15 and 20, gusting to 20 knots. Visibility is great, over 6 statute miles, few clouds, 3,000, scattered 4,500, and scattered at 6,000. And the TAF from the 11th at 800 Zulu, wind 040 at 7 knots, about the same weather, and relatively about the same weather throughout the rest of the day. Now, there was some convective activity throughout the US, and a lot of it is in the northern and the southern, not really through the middle, or not really through the middle of the United States, or horizontally through the middle of the United States is fine, but near Mexico and near Montana, North Dakota is where a lot of the thunderstorms and convective activity are happening. You can see there are some air mets. This is mostly from the Chicago area, and the air met Tango for turbulence. First we'll start off with the air met Zulu, icing and the freezing level. There is no significant icing, but the freezing level is ranging from 12,500 to 1,700 in this area to 60 ALC to 30 miles north-northwest BFF to 30 miles north-northeast BFF, and so on. Aircraft turbulence is for the Chicago areas, airmet turbulence, ND, South, SD, NE, and so on with those states. There's potential turbulence and potential IFR. Moving along. This is to the forecasts, and this is the prognostic chart. As you can see, there's kind of marginal VFR in the East Coast area near Michigan, top of the East Coast area, and lots of turbulence. Freezing level is about surface level horizontally around the US and near Texas. Is it above mean sea level? around the around Texas, and yeah. This is the mid-level prognostic chart. Getting low on time here, so essentially winds are flowing from the west side to the east, and there you can see there are some jetways, yeah, near the middle. And the high level chart for the US, there's lots of clouds in this area. Mainly the wind is flowing again from the east to the west, west to the east, and it's jet streams. And lastly is the Hawaii TAF or area forecast, and really there's nothing really unusual about this area forecast. So basically that will be it. Thank you.